we get to some bets?
So we're going
Oh
to
no, the
preview the
preview.
games.
That man.
You got to be somewhere.
Oh, just about. I do have to be somewhere actually.
Busy man.
Let's have a look at the Thursday night game and what could have been. Well, it may still be a good game, but certainly looking a lot closer before what's going on. Sea Eagles Roosters, Statman.
Yeah, the stats suggest potentially a tight matchup, which I don't think it will be. But anyway, Roosters have won 5 of the last 7. The last 4 have been split 2 apiece, and the last 10 have been split 5 apiece. The over-under total points is 5 all in the last 10. Average points scored in the last 10, 44.5. And the average points scored in the last 5, 39.5. Total this week is 45.5. The Chooks might get that by themselves.
Blake,
hang on.
Oh, you got more?
I got more, mate.
Gee.
Came prepared this week. The Chooks' last 2 wins have been combined, have come by a combined margin of 56.
Is this against Manly?
Against Manly.
Okay.
The average margin by any winning team in the last 5, these two going head-to-head, is 20. Chooks have averaged 22.5, and Manly have averaged 17 in the last 5. Now you can move on.
Blake, how do you see it going?
Thanks, that man. Look, I think it's going to be Roosters. Look, even with the players, if they were playing those 7, I still think the Roosters would have won. Maybe not by quite as much. But big shout out to it does, one man's trash, another man's treasure. Alfred Smalley, who I had something to do with back in the Auckland comp when we coached Counties Manukau. He actually did his ACL about 2-3 years ago. Real Matt Utai type on the wing, and went back over last year after recovery from ACL to get a chance, and he ends up on the wing for Manly. So hopefully the Otahu boy carves up the Roosters and scores a couple, but I still think the Roosters will be too good.
Yeah, good. There's a blast from the Matt Utai, who was like a little pocket battleship for the Bulldogs for a number of seasons.
The owners of one of the great Falcons of all time.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of Falcons, didn't Xavier Savage?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, good. Yeah, and he had to jump for that one. Surly, Roosters, obviously that's where you're going, or are you?
No, yeah, definitely with the Roosters. I think, like Blake mentioned, if the 7 were in, it would be a bit closer, but I'd probably still have backed them. Probably the worst possible timing in terms of competition matchups on the ladder, 8 versus 9, but excited to see James Seguiaro back. I know Carl mentioned it earlier, been out of the game for a long time, still a great footballer, and man, if there's someone that'll give it 100% at any opportunity, it's him. So looking forward to seeing him come on off the interchange. But yeah, the Roosters are just flying for me at the moment. They get Manu and Lindsay Collins back. They're just going from strength to strength, so should be a 13-pluser.
Oh, I just hope Joey doesn't suffer for any cramp in this game. Hopefully he gets through okay. 100%.
It works.
Warriors Storm, Statman, come on. Tell us why the bank is going to be opened again.
Melbourne have won 12 straight versus the Warriors. The average winning margin in those 12 is 24.3 points. The average winning margin in the last 5 is 34.8. Remembering, of course, the last game was 70-10. The total points has obviously gone over in 5 straight and 11 of the last 17 between these two. The average total points in the last 5 is 59.6. In the last 10, 46.1. And the total this week, 41.5. Storm have averaged 47 in the last 5 as the Wars, while the Wars have averaged 12.5. Surly's got his fingers in his ears. Sorry, mate.
Crikey.
Here you go, Surly. The Storm's winning percentage at Mount Smart, 55%. The Warriors, 57%.
However,
But
this season, 100%.
And a little sweetener. The Warriors have outscored the Storm in their last 3 games. Like, not head-to-head games, just the last 3 rounds. Why?
I'll pick that out.
Yeah. I mean, hey, current form,
Current
all,
form.
all roads pointing to the Wars.
He's never ever come up with that stat before. Ever in any game has that man come up with that stat. He just
Sometimes you find these little nuggets, and you just
does.
got to let the world know, you know.
Yeah, you've been looking all morning for that nugget. You finally found it. Shirley, tell us why the punters should be back in the Warriors to keep that 100% record at Mount Smart this season.
Yeah, well, like you said, we haven't lost at home in almost 3 years now, so it really is the fortress. Everyone goes on about the Panthers record at home. Have a look at the Warriors. But yeah, look, I'm feeling a little 2015 Nathan Fiend-esque performance from the boys. Perhaps a backflip try. I'd love that. But another sellout crowd, I reckon it will be. There's not many tickets left. Storm have their backs against the wall, and look, this is when we strike and get payback for that Anzac game. Unfortunately, no Jesse Arthurs, which I think is a big loss. Interesting to see RC got dropped. I thought he was pretty solid, but we've gone back to that preferred spine from the start of the competition. So hopefully those boys stand up, and yeah, the Mount Smart faithful get treated to another strong performance.
Blake, you feeling the same sort of vibes that Surly's feeling at the moment?
Surely.
Oh, a little bit. I put it down. I look at the teams. Can they match their forwards? Yes. Our forward pack can match their forward pack, if not play better. Can our halves match can our backs match their backs? Yes, I believe so. They don't have the strongest backs at the moment. Neither do we. Aiken on the centers. Anyway, can we match the halves? This is going to be the one. Can Shawnee stand up again like he did at Mount Smart? With Chanel there, we know Chanel's going to go 100 miles per hour, give everything. Can Shawnee play like he did that game against the Tigers and outplay possibly a Jerome Hughes and Cameron Munster? Because that's what's going to need to be done, I think. I give the Warriors I do give them a chance to win this game. I think it's the right time to strike the Storm. And I think when they come back here, they do go extra league. I know because, you know, we've been away for so long. But I have the Storm 1-12. But look, I'm saying there's a chance there the Warriors could win. It's not a confident 1-12. It's not.
Oh, yours, please.
Do I want the Warriors to win? Yes. Do I think they'll win? No. Do I think the Storm will win 13 and over? Yes.
Oh.
Pardon?
I don't want that to happen. I don't want it to happen. But if it does happen, I certainly want to have some money in my pocket to take to the casino.
It's going to be a somber night in the TAB club rooms if that's the case.
Sharks Rabbitohs, stat man.
Last 10 matches, split 5 apiece. Bunnies have won the last 2 straight, though, and 3 of the last 4. Under has hit 7 of the last 10. The average points in the last 10, 36.1. Average points in the last 5, 46.2. Total this week's 41.5. The average winning margin by either team the last 5 is 10.2. And when you stretch that out to the last 10 games, it's 10 as well. So very tight matches. 6 of the last 10 margins, winning margins, have been 10 or less. Bunnies' average score in the last 5 is 22.5. For the Sharks, 23.8. So very high scoring, tight games. The Sharks have a 57% winning record at PointsBet Stadium. The Bunnies 28%. And the last time the Bunnies beat the Sharks at home was 2014.
Yeah. You haven't got that Sharks last 3 games versus Rabbitohs last 3 games.
Couldn't find that.
They didn't have that stat.
No, it didn't look. I couldn't see that one.
All right.
That was just
I like that stat, Carl. I liked it, mate. Don't worry.
Yeah, thanks, Silly.
Well, Shirley, what do you like about this game?
Oh, it's going to be a heck of a game, isn't it? And some huge matchups all across the park, and I think it's going to go right down to the wire. I'll back the Sharks, I think, purely just off being back at home. But again, I wouldn't be surprised if the Bunnies put in another performance like they have over the past month and come away with the win. But yeah, this is definitely a game that I'll be tuning in for. Some massive collisions, no doubt, 2 strong forward packs, and then the excitement factor in both backlines is crazy. So yeah, I'll go Sharks 1-12, but I think it could be even in that kind of 1-6 margin.
Blake?
Yeah, I think look, they've lost 1 game all year at home. to the Roosters, the Sharks. I think they just had an off night that night. They're still trying to figure themselves out. I think, especially after watching them last week, they figured out who they are, and Fitzgibbon's got them rolling now. So, look, I think the Sharks really start to pick it up. And, I'm not that high on the Rabbits. I don't think they can do anything in this competition. I think Latrell, great player, and it all lands on him. But I think Cody can get rattled easy. I think these Sharks boys at home, look, I've got them 1-12, but could be by 12 points. I think they're going to win this.
Tell you what, speaking of getting rattled, he got absolutely shook by
Olam.
Olam, yeah. Wow.
What a shot. Yeah.
That was a great shot.
And Montoya on
Yeah.
Gutham the other week,
Mm.
kicking his guts out. That's awesome. I think, I don't know if you care what I think, but
Yeah.
when I was looking at this game, I was all for the Bunnies, but after looking into the stats, I think I'm leaning towards the Sharks. But like Surly, I think it'd be very tight and a bit of a coin flip.
Rabbitohs. I'm jumping on Latrell's shoulders, and he's going to take us to the promised land. I have no doubt. These are the sorts of games I think he gets up for, where
Can he do it 5 weeks in a row, though,
Oh.
against the top 4 teams?
he can do it 12 weeks in a row. Look out. The Bunnies are firing.
Jesus, cool down, mate.
Love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.